Thanks for joining us on our special TV reports and Gladiators track with Akon. Today promises to be very incisive. As we all know, no country is complete without its legal system, and its effectiveness is determined by those who ensure that laws are in place, they are fair, and they are properly interpreted and applied to foster peace, prosperity, and continuous progress for the country and its people. So for today, we have eminent personality with the Nigerian legal space who will be addressing burning issues with the legal sector, the challenges, its role in the growth of the nations, and the way forward. On a face-to-face is none other person than retired Justice Rose Vivor, and also on a general note from Mrs. Adekoya Olufunke, SAN, and the principal partner of Usman Elema, Mr. Sylvester Elema, SAN.
And also a note from the Managing Counsel, Synergy Attorney, Mr. Wonikoko Abiodun Jelili, SAN.
A subsequent report from Professor Ishejuwa. I believe and I promise you it's very incisive. Stay tuned and watch.
Olufunke Adekoya, SAN. When it comes to key figure or an authority in the Nigerian arbitration space, Olufunke Adekoya, SAN, stands out as a seasoned independent arbitrator and litigation consultant operating from Lagos across the country. After bagging a degree in law at Obafemi Awolowo University, Nigeria in 1974, she got a BL at the Nigerian Law School in a year later before going ahead to obtain her LLM at the Harvard Law School, Boston, Massachusetts in the United States. Olufunke Adekoya, SAN, retired as a founding partner at Alex Legal, a commercial law firm operating in Lagos, heading the dispute resolution practice group. With over 45 years experience in the legal sector, she has given expert opinions and appeared before the Court of England, United States, and Turkey as an expert witness on Nigerian law issues. Olufunke Adekoya is an approved tutor and course director at the Nigerian Branch Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, and lectures on arbitrations law and procedure, well recognized for her outstanding record within the legal field. Representing both national and international clients, she has been listed on various panels and is a member of a good number of professional associations.
There's a lot of focus from the Nigerian Bar Association on ensuring the speedy dispensation of justice. We are pushing for practice directions to ensure that the chief judge asks the judges, at least in Lagos State, to schedule cases. There's no point everybody coming to court at 9 o'clock and your case is not heard until 1 o'clock. So if the chief judge can ask judges to schedule cases for 9 o'clock, for 11 o'clock, for 1 o'clock, and people have a 2-hour slot or a 1-hour slot, then I think that will enhance the administration of justice. It will make things faster, and people will have more confidence in the system. And that's one of the things that's leading to the what you call the dilapidation. People are losing confidence in the judicial system. Every time there's a change in commerce, in industry, in the society, there's an opportunity. Either an opportunity for a dispute or an opportunity to bring people together. In all those situations, you need lawyers. Now we're looking at things like cryptocurrency, we're looking at blockchain, everything is going online. And these are areas that lawyers will start looking at, either to resolve disputes in the blockchain industry, legal tech. Then look at the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. When that takes off and there's export and imports in between African countries, it's a whole new area of law, trade law, that lawyers are going to be looking at. So I think there are areas, as the times change and continue to evolve, there continue to be more and more areas of new interest for lawyers to look into. Speed up the system of justice delivery, which is one of the things I've just talked about. Secondly, there are some things that are being done but are not being advertised. So Lagos State have small claims courts where litigants can go speak for themselves. It's not being advertised. It's not in the public domain. And as long as there's this perception of I can't go into court unless I have a lawyer, then we have a problem. The other thing is that to become a senior advocate, you are required to have pro bono cases that you do for free. And I think this is another opportunity that we can use to ensure that justice is available to everyone, and that the poor, those who cannot access lawyers because they can't afford to pay, will also have access to lawyers. So pro bono, legal aid is there, and then what the courts themselves are doing with the small claims court. I think God's design for me as a woman is probably the same as God's design for any of his creations, which is for them to fulfill their potential. I think God has given each person a potential and wants us to fulfill it, and hopefully provides us with the opportunities to fulfill it. It is for us to see those opportunities and take them. I've never wanted to be anything other than a lawyer. Maybe because my father was a lawyer and was studying law as a mature student. We were in primary school, so we saw him going for lectures, coming back and doing tutorials with his mates. I like to talk, I like to argue, I like to read. If I hadn't been a lawyer, maybe I'd have been in dramatic arts. It's the same thing. You put on wig and gown, you go to court, you say, "My lord, my lord." Yes and no. Yes, we are prepared for globalization because COVID has shown us that so much can be done online. And we've had to deal with it, either in terms of working from home during the COVID period, or if you have international clients, reaching out to them on Zoom, on WebEx, on all sorts of online platforms. So to that extent, the legal profession is aware that globalization is at your front door. To the extent to which our courts are not functioning at that level, then the profession as a whole is not ready for globalization. I'm not sure that our judges today understand that their judgments are read abroad, or that their judgments have an impact outside of Nigeria. So we have to start from the concept that we are part of a global village, and that a decision that you take within Nigeria or within Lagos can impact an investor in another country and can have a result that will negatively impact investment. So globalization, yes, we are aware of it, but I don't think that the profession, whether as lawyers or as the judiciary, have totally understood the extent to which globalization can affect us.
Well, I would say that the first thing to do, if we are really serious about bringing back the glory of the legal profession, is to focus on the integrity of lawyers, because that is lacking to a very great extent. Gone were the days when your professional colleague will give you his word and you go to bed with it. Nowadays, you can discuss something with your colleague and you find that he's not keeping to his word. For me personally, lack of integrity is a very serious issue in the legal profession. There used to be, and there is still, what we call the legal aid at the federal level, but it is not as empowered as it ought to be. Indeed, for you to qualify as an SAN, you need to show that you have done some number of cases, we call it pro bono. That is, cases you have done without charging fees. And the Legal Aid Council is there to assist indigent people, those who need legal protection or who cannot afford the services of lawyers. The Legal Aid Council is there to give them that service. But as I said, it is not as empowered as it ought to be. It's not that we have done a few for the Legal Aid Council, but it ought to be much wider, from much wider scope, and with a greater vote that will enable them to reach as many people as possible. Even in the states too, the various ministries of justice should also have branches within the ministry that take care of that, where people can go. Those who cannot really afford it can go there, and they will have the opportunity of legal service to defend them. As we speak today, even though we have a Nigerian law on arbitration, which we call the Nigerian Law of Arbitration and Conciliation Act, most blue chip companies do not do arbitration in Nigeria. When there is no trust in the ability of the judicial system to protect the investor, it undermines confidence. It goes a long way to discourage investors. But if they are sure that the legal system is there, firm and solid, to support them and to protect them, they come. So it is key. It is very crucial. Well, we thank God. It's been okay. Well, we've just emerged from the COVID-19 era, which was very difficult for everybody. But we thank God we are bouncing back, just like other businesses. It's unfortunate that prior to that resignation on health grounds, there were these rumblings in the Supreme Court where 14 justices of the court wrote a kind of a letter that showed they had lost confidence in his leadership. That has never happened before in the history of our country, and somehow it's a relief that the matter was brought to a quick end through his resignation, because if it had lingered, we would have had a situation where the Supreme Court would be in disarray. And if that were to happen, I wonder what, especially as we prepare for election petitions, pre-election matters, and after-election matters. So I would say that it's unfortunate, but let everybody learn a lesson from it, and let's hope that such will never happen again. It is better to focus on your competencies. Try to work hard. Try to be patient. Also, have some integrity in what you do. When these things are observed, the reward will come eventually.
I don't think that a judicial officer leaving office in advance or ahead of his terminal date is anything remarkable, especially if it is attributed to health challenges. One of the grounds on which a judicial officer may cease to function in that capacity is ground of health, ill health. Even as practitioners, it's a condition that the court looks upon with serious empathy, where a practitioner is otherwise indisposed to discharge his office. So long as that is the ostensible reason given for his lordship to vacate office, while it is not common, it is not totally a strange development. We've had judges in Nigeria leave the bench on ground of ill health. I think the first thing is the fact that his emergence indicated some form of brotherhood among his brother justices. For all 14 of them, as at the time they cried out, to append their signatures to that complaint, it shows that they have some common vision about where the court should be. And therefore, I believe His Lordship will enjoy the cooperation of his brother justices at the Supreme Court. But more than anything else, the initiative is now right on his own desk. He is to innovate, come up with big ideas that his brothers can sign on to and use to sell the judiciary as starting on a new slate of optimism, of trust and confidence. I wish my Lord all the wisdom, the strength in health and character that he already has to make a difference, so that by the time his Lordship will leave, whether now or at the appropriate end of his tenure, there will be a legacy that he deservedly will be leaving for us to celebrate. Definitely, I've been somehow fortunate to be involved in some of this, what they call the financial service sector reform in the last 12, 13 years. There are a number of laws that were proposed to address the judicial service sector and the role it plays as an enabler for economic growth. It means, therefore, that if we must grow this economy, we must make it attractive and competitive, because we are going to be competing for capital all over the world. Nigeria does not immediately have sufficient capital to grow and address some of its basic infrastructural needs, which are huge capital investments. The easiest way to attract funding to the area is for other people to bring in money into the economy. And people will not come to an economy where they are not sure of the safety of their investment, and that if there is a dispute, that the justice system there is fair and predictable enough to protect their commitment. Therefore, the role of the justice sector in getting the economy out of its present doldrum cannot be too stressed. It cannot be overemphasized. The same way we are making it a priority to say government should invest in education, government should invest in health, is the way they must invest in a robust and credible justice sector, in order for people that are not within your state who want to come and take the risk will feel safe that the redress they can get in London, if they take their money there, in Dubai, if they bring their money here, they will get a similar redress, which has to be timely and it has to be transparent. I'm aware that presently, in the last couple of years, there has been an attempt in fits and starts to amend the Legal Practitioners Act. And we got to a point where there were different versions sponsored by different stakeholders. And some of them had very conflicting provisions. Some interests also came into play to prevent the law being passed. I know that the body of SANs have a version they have harmonized. The body of benchers had one promoted. Attorney General had his own version. And then some parliamentarians on their own initiative produced some versions. But I guess we are moving towards a convergence very soon. I know that in the last, the outgoing NBA president made it a matter of special interest, and I can almost bet that it will be a priority subject of interest for the incoming president of NBA.
Honorable Justice Olabode Rosevivor, CFR, JSC, is a man of outstanding qualities and impeccable character with exceptional achievements. Born in Lagos Island to the family of Honorable Justice Chief Akinwumi R.W. Rosevivor, is an alumnus of the prestigious University of Lagos, Nigeria, where he obtained a bachelor's degree in law in 1974. A year later, the Honorable Justice was called to the bar after graduating from the Nigerian Law School, after which he joined the Lagos State Judiciary as State Counsel. In the same year, he rose through the rank to become Director of Public Prosecutions in 1989. He became a High Court judge in 1994, before his appointment to the Nigerian Court of Appeal as a justice in 2005. Honorable Justice Olabode Rosevivor's professional journey has taken him beyond the shores of the country into other parts of Africa, the United States of America, and the United Kingdom. He has taken courses, attended conferences, delivered papers, served as a justice of the Supreme Court in another country, and received deserved accolades for his sheer brilliancy and an excellent wave of success. In 2010, he was appointed a justice of the Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Honorable Justice Olabode Rosevivor retired in 2021 as Nigeria's second most senior Supreme Court justice.
Well, he retired on health grounds. What they are to do and what they have done is they're in the process of appointing somebody else to take over from him. That's what people are made to believe, that it was health grounds. I don't know of any other reason why he retired except what I also read on the social media, newspapers, and everywhere. It may have, because if he's sick, he's not in a position to steer the affairs of the judiciary properly. And that may be what is responsible for shortcomings on his part. And I think that is why he resigned, knowing fully well that with the state of his health, he cannot improve on the judiciary, bearing in mind the contents of the letter written by the 14 judges, because the contents of that letter was weighty. And that type of thing, I don't think a sick man can handle that. Justice Awala is a very competent judge. He will have no problems because he listens a lot, and he will his input into the improvement of the judiciary in a few months or whatever, you will start seeing it because he is healthy and strong. So I won't be surprised if he does very well. It can only improve, it can't go down. Countries in the world, all America, England had a time when things were not good. They got together and did this thing, I'm telling you, bring a stakeholders this thing to improve it. It's nothing new in Nigeria. That English judiciary is almost 10,000 years old. You are comparing that with Nigerian judiciary, or the American judiciary is about 200 years old. I'm not justifying all what is going on. Don't say I'm justifying it, but we want to walk before we crawl. But I believe that if a stakeholders meeting or committee is set up, then things will improve. And people concerned with the judiciary should listen to these views of everybody and try and implement it with the active support of the Chief Justice. Then things will start improving. I speak to youths a lot, and I see one thing with most of them. They can't wait. No, they want to, you give them something today, they want to make money tomorrow or next week. But life is not like that. When you make money too fast, if you check it, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. You see? But if you want to, with time, you hang in there. Any profession you get involved in, if you just do it daily, you'll be very comfortable in life. But it's not that you start law today, then in December you pack it up, then you go something else, you go and sell house, then you get one big this thing and you pack it up. You don't make anything that way. You have to be consistent.
What I could achieve by my own hard work, by my principles, by my determination.
Every organizations have issues from time to time. They probably have issues.
The whole legal system has been saved. A lot of embarrassment.
The rich can always use their money to buy their way through or buy their way out of any situation they find themselves.
And that's about it from us today. I believe you enjoyed it just the way I did. Don't forget to follow us next week, the same time, same station. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel on Gladiators Track with Akon. Thanks very much and God bless.